Aita for refusing to bail out my cheating ex-wife and backstabbing brother after they lost everything in a crypto scam? Now they're threatening to reveal dark family secrets if I don't help. It was my brother's 35th birthday party. I remember it vividly. The summer air thick with the scent of barbecue, laughter echoing across our parents' backyard. My wife was there, looking stunning in a floral sundress, her smile lighting up the gathering. My brother, always the life of the party, was regaling everyone with stories of his latest business venture. "Little bro," he called out to me, raising his beer. "You should join me on this one. We could make millions." I laughed it off, as I always did. My brother was known for his get-rich-quick schemes, while I preferred the steady growth of my own small tech company. "I'm good, thanks. You know me, slow and steady wins the race." My wife chimed in, her eyes sparkling with interest. "Oh, come on, honey. Where's your sense of adventure?" If only I had seen it then. The way they looked at each other, the subtle touches, the inside jokes. But I was blind, trusting, and completely unaware of the betrayal brewing right under my nose. Weeks passed, and I noticed my wife becoming distant. She was always on her phone, smiling at texts quickly hiding the screen when I approached. I chalked it up to stress from her job, never once suspecting the truth. Then came the day that shattered my world. I came home early from a business trip, hoping to surprise her. Instead, I was the one surprised. As I opened our bedroom door, I saw them, my brother and my wife, tangled in our sheets, lost in each other's arms. The confrontation that followed was ugly. Shouting, crying, accusations flying. My wife, tears streaming down her face, claimed it had been a one-time mistake. My brother, looking more annoyed than ashamed, told me to calm down. "It's not a big deal, bro," he said, his casual tone cutting deeper than any knife. "These things happen." I left that night, my head spinning, my heart broken. I stayed with a friend, ignoring the constant calls and messages from both of them. A week later, I returned home to find the house empty. A note on the kitchen counter told me everything I needed to know. "We're sorry, but we can't fight this. We're in love. Please try to understand and forgive us someday." The divorce was messy. My brother and soon-to-be ex-wife moved to the other side of the country, starting a new life together. I threw myself into my work, letting the pain fuel my ambition. Slowly, I rebuilt my life, my business flourishing as I poured every ounce of energy into it. For 3 years, I had minimal contact with them. The occasional family gathering was tense, with our parents trying desperately to keep the peace. I remained civil for their sake, but the wound never truly healed. And now this email. "Hey little bro," it began, the familiar nickname salt in the wound. "I hope this finds you well. Look, I know we've had our differences, but I'm reaching out because we're in a tough spot. Remember that crypto investment I told you about? Well, it turns out it was a scam. We've lost everything, our savings, the house, all of it. We're desperate here. I know it's a lot to ask, but is there any way you could lend us some money to get back on our feet?" For old times' sake, I stared at the screen, a mix of emotions swirling inside me. Anger, disbelief, and oddly, a twinge of satisfaction. Part of me wanted to reply with a simple, "Karma's a bitch, isn't it?" But another part, the part that remembered the brother who taught me to ride a bike and stood up for me in school, hesitated. As I contemplated my response, another email popped up, this time from my ex-wife. "Please, we're really struggling here. We made a mistake, and we've paid for it. We're not asking for forgiveness, just help. You're doing so well with your company. Surely you can spare something?" I closed my laptop, my mind a whirlwind of conflicting thoughts. Should I help them? Did they deserve my assistance after what they did? I decided to sleep on it, hoping clarity would come with the morning light. But sleep eluded me. I tossed and turned, memories of happier times mingling with the pain of betrayal. By dawn, I had made my decision. I wouldn't give them money, but I would offer advice on how to get back on their feet, job resources, financial planning tips, that sort of thing. It was more than they deserved, but it would clear my conscience. I drafted a carefully worded email, trying to strike a balance between compassion and firmness. But before I could send it, my phone rang. It was my brother. "Did you get my email?" he asked, not bothering with pleasantries. "I did," I replied, keeping my voice neutral. I was just about to respond. He cut me off. "Look, I know you're probably still angry, but we really need your help. We're talking about family here. I took a deep breath, steeling myself. Family? You seem to have a selective definition of that word, bro. Don't be like that, he said, his tone shifting from pleading to irritated. We made a mistake, okay? But are you really going to let us suffer when you have the means to help? I'm not letting you suffer, I explained, trying to keep calm. I'm willing to offer advice, resources. We don't need your advice, he snapped. We need money. Cold hard cash. And let's be real, you owe us. I nearly choked. I owe you? How do you figure that? There was a pause, and when he spoke again, his voice was low and menacing. Remember that summer at Uncle Jack's farm? The incident with the tractor? My blood ran cold. That was a family secret, one we had all sworn never to speak of again. An accident that had nearly cost our uncle his life, and one that I had been unfairly blamed for as a child. You wouldn't, I whispered. Try me, he replied. Either you help us out, or Mom and Dad get to learn the truth about their precious golden boy. Your choice, little bro. The line went dead, leaving me in stunned silence. My mind raced, memories of that terrible day flooding back, the fear, the guilt, the relief when my brother had stepped in to take the blame. It had been his idea to keep it a secret, to protect me. And now he was using it as leverage. I sat there, frozen for what felt like hours, the weight of the decision pressing down on me. If I gave in to their demands, where would it end? But if I refused, was I prepared for the fallout? As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting long shadows across my office, I made my choice. I picked up my phone and dialed a number I never thought I'd use again. Mom? I said when she answered. I need to talk to you and Dad. It's important. It's about what happened at Uncle Jack's farm. The silence on the other end was deafening. Finally, my mother spoke, her voice trembling. We'll be right over. The next few hours were a whirlwind of emotions. Tears, anger, disbelief, and ultimately, understanding. My parents listened as I recounted the true events of that day, how my brother had protected me, and how he was now using it against me. To my surprise, they weren't angry. Sad, yes, but not angry. My father placed a hand on my shoulder, his eyes misty. Son, we've always known. Jack told us the truth years ago. We were waiting for you to come to us when you were ready. The relief I felt was indescribable. A weight I had carried for decades lifted in an instant, and with it came clarity. I called my brother back, my voice steady and strong. The answer is no. No money, no help, and your leverage, it's gone. I've told Mom and Dad everything. His sputtering protests were cut short as I continued. You and her made your choice 3 years ago. Now you get to live with the consequences. Don't contact me again unless it's to apologize. I hung up, feeling lighter than I had in years. The road ahead wouldn't be easy. There were still family dynamics to navigate, wounds to heal. But for the first time in a long time, I felt free. As I sit here now, reflecting on the chaos of the past few days, I can't help but marvel at the twists and turns life takes. Betrayal, blackmail, long-buried secrets, it's like something out of a soap opera. But through it all, I've learned valuable lessons about trust, forgiveness, and the importance of facing our past. So, dear viewer, if you've made it this far in my tale of family drama and financial folly, why not subscribe? I promise my life updates are more reliable than my brother's investment advice, and a lot less likely to leave you broke and begging for bailouts.